Hello and welcome to Mr. Rance's seventh grade math class. Today I'm going to be walking you through the two math classes that I have here at Maclay Middle School. So let's get to it. And if you probably know, I'm Mr. Rances. And in uh, this particular presentation, I am going to show you what it takes to be in my math class, and at the same time, the things that we do in the math class. Okay? So before we get started, let me tell you a little bit about me and my experience in teaching. So, first off, okay, um, I've been teaching middle school math for the past 22 years. Before that, okay, um, I was an airline pilot for Philippine Airlines where I flew for 10 years. That was my aircraft before. Okay. My education, I went to California State University in Northridge, and that's where I got my teaching credentials. Before that, I graduated from the Ateneo de Manila University in the Philippines, Bachelor of Arts in Economics. Okay. So from there, let's move on to the periods that I teach. The core classes that I teach are in periods 2, 6, and 8. We call this the B day in my case. Okay, so these are the lessons that you can see in your child's textbook. Okay, and these lessons are part of the curriculum for seventh grade. Okay, so this is what we'll cover and or probably have already covered for this particular school year. We use the California Math Course 2 as our textbook, and we went through ratios and proportions, where we analyze proportional relationships, use them to solve real world mathematical problems. Okay, and this dealt with chapter 1 and chapter 2, ratios and proportional reasoning and percents. Okay. And then we went to Unit 2. Actually, what happened was that at the beginning of the year, we started Unit 2, the number system, okay, where we applied extensions of previous understandings of operations with fractions to add, subtract, multiply, and divide rational numbers. So we started with Unit 2 at the beginning of the year because it dealt with integers. We started with integers first, rules of integers, how to add positive, negative numbers on a number line, so on and so forth. And we also discussed rational numbers, meaning fractions. Okay, rational numbers, numbers that can be expressed in the form of a over b. So after we did unit 2, then we went back to unit 1. We dealt with ratios and proportional reasoning, and then we did percents. Okay, the reason for this is that I felt that before we can go to review ratios and proportional reasoning, we need to have a good understanding of what rational numbers are. Okay, and then to continue the curriculum, we went to Unit 3, Expressions and Equations, where we use properties of operations to generate equivalent expressions. Okay, we also use this to solve real-world life and mathematical problems using numerical and algebraic expressions and equations. And these are the chapters. There are chapter 5, which has 8 lessons, and chapter 6, equations and inequalities, which also has 8 lessons. Okay, and from there, okay, this is where we are right now in geometry, where we draw, construct, and describe geometrical figures and describe the relationship between them. So in this particular unit, we've completed chapter 7 already, geometric figures, and we are currently going to uh, chapter 8, measure figures. And this will be the last chapter for this school year before we go to our summer break. Okay? So that's our core curriculum. And during periods 1, 5, and 7, which is an A day, this is the math lab period, we do ST math. And this is a good example of ST math right here, which is a puzzle that they do, if you notice. Okay, in ST math, uh, there are no verbal or written instructions. They look at the puzzle and they try to explore how to solve the mathematical puzzle without using numbers. So ST stands for spatial temporal math, which means that they should be able to reason out by looking at the puzzle. They should use their critical thinking skills to be able to figure out how the puzzle works. Okay, and during periods 1, 5, and 7, they should finish at least 30 minutes. Okay, and they need to complete 8 to 10 puzzles. Okay, by the end of the week, they should have completed 60 to 90 minutes of SD math. Okay, and 16 to 24 puzzles. Okay, completed. So that's only for 30 minutes. So what do we do the remainder of the time? So I tell them, okay, once they complete their 30 minutes, they are required to work on their period 2, 6, or 8 assignments. Okay, so this should give them enough time. If they do this properly, they should have more than around 20 minutes to complete assignments for period 2, 6, or 8. Okay, depending what period they fall into. Okay, so let's go to the schedule. And my schedule or our schedule here, Maclay, looks something like this. This is a sample schedule. So if you notice, okay, if it's a B day on Monday, Tuesday it's going to be an A day. If it's a B, then another B day, an A day, and then it switches the following week. Okay, so that's a sample of our schedule, the entire school year. And the next part of what I'm going to show you will be how I grade my classes. And these are the percentages. So 30% of their grade goes to chapter tests. What are chapter tests? These are cumulative tests after we complete a chapter. Okay? And then 50% of the grade will be on quizzes. And the quizzes comprise of Edpuzzle videos, IXL, lesson quizzes. Okay? And finally, 10% of the grade will be on guided practice. Now, what is this? Basically, we do the questions as a class, and they all need to all they need to do is take down notes. Okay. After that, they need to take a picture of the notes we did together and make a submission on Schoology. Okay. So those are the grade percentages and how your child is being graded. Okay, let's take a look at the timeline of the core classes. Okay, so B-Day assignments, this goes something like this. Okay, so the first thing that we do or that I do is that I assign the Edpuzzle video. If you are not familiar with Edpuzzle video, ask your child about it, but it's basically they watch a video that I've created and I've recorded. It talks about the entire lesson. Okay, and then the video will stop, and then it will ask them a question about what was taught during those past minute or past seconds that the video was running. They need to answer that question before they can proceed with the video. Okay, they need to complete that video, and that video is actually graded as a quiz. Okay, now once they complete the video, they can actually ask me to reset the video if they have or they received a poor grade on that particular video. So it's not a final grade. They can ask me to reset it for them to get a better grade. So that's the first item on our timeline of B-Day assignments, they need to complete the video. And with that Edpuzzle video, they are given at least 2 days to watch and complete the Edpuzzle lesson online. Okay? So after they complete the Edpuzzle video, okay, they are also asked, okay, to do iExcel. Now, iExcel is another online program, so it's a program that actually will reinforce what I taught them on the video. So with this, they know what it is. After completing the video, they're to complete the associated iExcel practice, and they need to get at least a SMART score of 70, just 70, not 100. Now, the good thing about iExcel is that it gives them practice on what the lesson, okay, is about. So if they watch the Edpuzzle video and they understand it, once they start doing the iExcel, okay, if they do this properly, there will be a better understanding of the lesson. So that's the second thing they need to do. Now, the third thing that they need to do in our timeline is during the lesson itself. So when we go to class and when it's time to learn that particular lesson, okay, we do the guided practice as a class. So what is the guided practice? It is the bunch of problems at the back of the lesson, okay, a back of the last page of the lesson where it says guided practice, where they can actually see if they understand the lesson or not. We do this as a class together. Okay, so on that day, on the day of the lesson, they are required to take down notes. Okay, as I do the guided practice with them. So I guide them through every single problem. I write it down. All they need to do is copy it in their book or in a notebook. So after the lesson, they need to take a picture, okay, of their notes with their devices and make a submission on Schoology. Okay? So after we do the guided practice and after I give them the necessary tips for them to be successful to learn this lesson, then I assign the lesson quiz. Okay? And the lesson quiz, okay, they are given at least 3 attempts on that quiz. All of these are located in Schoology. So at any time that they need to complete a missing homework, all they need to do is go to their Schoology, their period number, and complete the missing assignments that they want to complete. Okay? So that's exactly the precursor for this next slide. And in the next slide, okay, it is saying it is not too late to turn in missing assignments. So again, like what I told you on this video, simply go to the Schoology and go complete the missing assignments. The only thing that they need to do is be sure that they let me know that they made up some assignments so that I can update their grade on Schoology. Again, okay, let me repeat myself. It is not yet too late to turn in missing assignments, even at this point. So we started the second semester with chapter 2. Okay, we are now on chapter 8. That means all the assignments that they did not complete from chapter 2 all the way to chapter 8 are still available to be turned in. And they are not going to be penalized for turning them in late. I just need them turned in. Okay? All right, so that's that. And another thing that I need to mention to you is that in our class, I highly encourage participation. Okay? What does participation mean? It means be an active learner, being present, taking down notes, asking questions, answering questions, and actively engaged. Okay? That's what participation in my class entails. And turn on cameras. Okay? So unfortunately, for the most part, Okay, I only have less than a handful of people turning on cameras, and of course, my camera is always on. Okay, now if your child needs assistance in any of the assignments, this is where this slide comes in. If your child needs help on any, sorry, there should be a space there, any assignment, these programs are available after school. Okay, now I suggest you pause this video to copy the Zoom meeting ID for the various program. The first one is Lions Hour. Okay, that is the Zoom meeting ID number and the password. The second one, which I am involved in, is called the Grade Recovery Program. Again, okay, that's the Zoom ID number and the password. The time for grade recovery is 3:30 to 4:30, and the time for Lions Hour is 2:30 to 3:30. Okay, and that is basically all that I want to share with you. I want to also share with you one quote from Zig Ziglar. Okay, and it's a very interesting quote. Okay, if you are not willing to learn, no one can help you. If you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. And I keep on telling my kids and your children about this, that education is one of the things that they need to strive for, because this is one thing that no one can take away from them. Okay? They will go places, doors will be opened for them with a good education. Okay? So if you could reiterate that to your children, please let them know that it's very important for them to study, stay in school, okay, and learn from their teachers and their peers. Okay? So thank you for paying attention. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope uh, that you got something from this. Okay? Don't hesitate to contact me. You can always call the office. You can always message me through Schoology. But if there are any concerns that you need to raise, simply contact the office or email me through Schoology. Again, thank you and have a good summer.